Hey, I'm John Joe and welcome to Fast Facts. Today we're going to be talking about Avatar, which you probably already know because you've seen the thumbnail of this video and the title. Kind of gives it away. I hope you like my new green screen. It's like extremely spacious. It's really nice. It would be great if I could actually get a cinema to film in, wouldn't it? Because then I could just like go over, sit down and watch any film that I like. I mean, you gotta dream big sometimes, don't you? So considering I have the amazing opportunity to film inside of this amazing place, then I thought we should focus it on my film facts. I mean, that's pretty logical really, isn't it? So yeah, so here we are, top 10 fast facts about Avatar 2. Number 10. The film was originally meant to be released in 2014, with another sequel, the third Avatar film, meant to be released in 2015. So as we're still waiting in 2020 for this film to be released, the current date of release is set for the 17th of December in 2021, which is quite a while to wait, and I wouldn't get your hopes up either, because, well, quite frankly, with their history, the chances are it's going to be delayed again. But I really can't wait for the release date to actually happen so that we can watch this film. The first one was actually one of my favourite films of all times, and it may have helped that I actually went and watched this in 3D at the cinema. And it's quite likely that as soon as Avatar 2 is released, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I'm gonna be going straight to a cinema and watching it in 3D. Number 9. With the title of this new film, it's pretty clear that Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, is going to be based on Pandora's ocean, which will be amazing to see what sort of creatures Pandora has in the waters. From what I understand, the Makiena clan seem to believe that the ocean has a soul, or a heart. This might be considered in the same way in the first film that we saw the Omaticaya clan with the Tree of Souls. Either way, I'm pretty excited to see how these creatures look just in Pandora's oceans. I mean, they did such a great job in the first film showing the land and the air, and now they're just showing us the oceans as well. I mean, we are going to get a tour of Pandora. Number 8. James Cameron did not want the word Avatar in the title. This is because Jacob lost his body and became a part of the Navi, which means Avatar just isn't relevant at all. But considering he said that, it also implies that when the humans come back, that they are not using the Avatar program. Because if they were, he wouldn't have a problem with the name and the title, surely. Either way, it's probably not going to happen where they have humans transferring their bodies into avatars, unless it was more for a combat purpose. Considering the Avatar program was more of a diplomatic purpose at all, it's probably not likely to be in the second film because, well, diplomacy failed. Number 7. Sigourney Weaver will actually be coming back for the second film, which could be surprising because she died, but so did Colonel Quaritch, and he's coming back too. Now that one I have a problem with, but I'll explain in a second. With Sigourney Weaver, she played Dr. Augustine. Now she died by getting shot, and she doesn't plan on coming back as Dr. Augustine. She plans on coming back as a different character. Now I don't know much about that yet. However, it's still going to be interesting to find out who she's going to be playing as and how they're going to make her different to Dr. Augustine. Maybe there's a twin sister going on. Now let's get back to Colonel Quaritch. And he is coming back as Colonel Quaritch, which means he didn't die. He must have survived. Now I have a problem with that because in the first film he's presumed dead, which quite rightly so. He got shot by 2 of the Navi's arrows. Now at the beginning of the film, they stated that the neurotoxin on those arrows can stop your heart in 1 minute. I mean, so Colonel Quaritch is running around Pandora, surviving, because the second film is based on 8 years later. And how is he living out there? Is that mask like a permanent thing? He's, just take it off him. And from what I've read, he's also planned to become the primary villain throughout the entire sequels, up until the 5th film at least. Number 6. With the film being based on Pandora's oceans, wouldn't it be great if James Cameron, if he could add a reference to Titanic? Well actually, Kate Winslet, who was in Titanic, is going to be a part of the Navi's ocean people. She's going to be playing a character called Ronal. Now, I don't have much information on Ronal. However, I do have more information on Kate Winslet and more to do with the cast a bit later on in this, so stay tuned. They said that even if you look at Earth, you could spend a whole lifetime travelling the globe. They wanted to have that same experience, but on Pandora. Number 5. Here's a little cute one for you. Here's some images I found of Jake and Natiri's daughter. However, in the film she's meant to be 8 years old, but I'm not really sure if that's 8 years on Pandora or 8 years on Earth, because I'm going to assume there's a big difference there. However, I'm going to assume it's based off of Earth, otherwise they would have used a reference. So a good point to note is that Jake and Natiri will actually still be together. However, there will be a disagreement developing between them both throughout the film. And depending on how severe that disagreement is, you may end up hearing the word scown used again, so remember to cover your kids' ears, guys. But it does make me wonder, what is that disagreement going to be about? Number 4. So, James Cameron is actually planning to write a novel based on the Avatar films. Probably to build up some more hype so that people are more interested in Avatar again, despite their interests. And then they can release the second film with a better launch. These books are not just going to be simply a novelization of the first film. These are going to be completely unique stories with some new characters, where we can learn more about the characters we already know about, and find out more about the Avatar universe as a whole. Some of the new information you can learn about is the time that was spent at Dr. Augustine's school, so I'm going to assume that we're going to get a good insight as to what actually happened there, because they only go through it briefly in the Avatar film. And there will also be extra information about Jake's twin brother, Tommy. Originally there was just going to be one novel that was going to be released based on the first film. However, this has turned into many novels that are going to be produced over the course of the Avatar series. Number 3. Vin Diesel announced his involvement with Avatar's sequels with an Instagram post which included a video of him with James Cameron himself. But more of this became clear with the world premiere of Avengers Endgame. But unfortunately it's still a bit unclear as to whether he's going to be in the second film, third, fourth or fifth. But in my opinion, it's obvious he's going to be in the second film. I mean, come on. Letty died in the first film, so Dominic's coming back for revenge. And if any of you got that reference, that's obviously Fast and Furious. I've done a Fast and Furious facts video before. Link is right here. Number 2. So we've spoken already about the second film having a focus on Pandora's ocean. And with that comes a lot of problems because they're going to be filming underwater. Which the obvious problem is the actors have to hold their breaths for extended periods of time. Most of the actors are able to hold their breath for around a maximum of 4 minutes. However, there's one scene where Kate Winslet holds her breath for an entire 7 minutes. Now that's dedication for you. Now this is the same for some of the younger members of the cast, including 5 teenagers and 1 7-year-old, who were able to hold their breath for around a couple of minutes per scene. And with the Navi communicating underwater, they used some form of sign language, so the actors had to act that out as well in the scenes. Number 1. Now there is a problem with the Avatar films in general, but a fan theory has developed because of this, and it specifically addresses the Navi themselves. The problem is that if you think about it, the Navi don't really suit the evolution of the ecosystem that we see. So with the creatures that we've already seen on Pandora, it's clear that they come from a hexapod sort of evolutionary line, which means that they have 6 legs. Now they've also got more than 2 eyes, and they even have sort of unique breathing that goes down from their necks. So why don't the Navi? I mean, they have the same as humans. They're humanoids, so they've got 2 legs, 2 arms. They breathe through their nose and mouth. They also have hair, which you don't see on any other creature. Even looking at Earth creatures, we all have the same basic structures, you just don't always see them. So for example, the bat, he still has finger bones, except for there's a membrane between his fingers which form into wings. So he still has hands and fingers, you just don't see them because they're not so obvious. In fact, the only thing that actually connects the Navi with the life on Pandora is the nerve connectors at the end of their hair. So seriously, where did the Navi come from? So some people have suggested that the reason the Navi exist on Pandora is for a theory called panspermia, which states that, like, Earth is hit by an asteroid, and then parts of Earth are flung into space which have microorganisms on, and microorganisms survive through space, and then they can collide with another celestial body, and life can then form again on another planet, with those microbes starting it all off again. But this just doesn't explain it for me, because when evolution happened on Earth, we all evolved from a creature at some point that had 2 arms and 2 legs, 4 fingers and such. And eventually everything grew from that and come off and diverted into different species. So the same should be true for Pandora. So even if life formed there from Earth's asteroids, we should see it better, because they should also have other animals there with 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, normal breathing that we see on Earth. But no, that's not quite the case. The Navi are still the only ones there. Now, another reason I don't like this is just the theory itself. I mean, it's always an asteroid from Earth going to seed other planets, but maybe Earth was seeded by another planet itself. I mean, we can't just always be vain and think that we're the only life in the universe. I mean, we might be the only sentient life in the universe because we haven't heard anything from anyone else, the Fermi paradox. By the way, I've done a paradox video as I'm talking about paradoxes right now, and if you want to see that paradox video, it's like my 3rd video and it's got my highest watch time ever, so it must be good. The link will be right here if you're interested. So another theory suggests that maybe the Navi just aren't native to Pandora. The Navi may have been genetically created by humans as maybe a failed experiment, or maybe even by another race of aliens that placed them there themselves. And another piece of evidence for this is the fact that they have a warrior tribe. I mean, they're not fighting themselves out there. They all seem to be very peaceful towards each other, at least understanding. So they got a whole warrior clan that never seems to go to war. They have no reason to fight each other in these sort of levels. They've got all these bow and arrows, they've got toxins, but yet that was there before the humans got there. Who were they fighting before? Maybe we'll find out in these other sequels. Or maybe it's just a Hollywood thing because, well, the Navi are the victims, and the audience need to relate to them to be able to feel an emotional connection. So it could be as simple as it's just what's best for the audience so that they can create the emotional connection to the Navi. But wouldn't it be awesome if we were actually able to find out more about the Navi themselves, where they came from, and find out maybe they aren't native to Pandora. But either way, let me know what you guys think about this theory as a whole. Maybe you have your own thoughts on this problem. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that theory. I mean, do you have your own comments on that? I mean, what else do you guys think? Have you guys heard of anything else that could have been mentioned in this video? Just let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this video, then tell YouTube and click that like button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hey, I'm John Joe. Welcome to Fast Facts. Today we're going to be talking about Avatar, if you haven't already seen in the description. Amazing place. Then right. I'm getting too excited the fact that I'm actually able to remember. In 2021, and I've gone really, really black. Right. Strangely enough, the Navi arrows have a nut. Oh yeah, I want to move. That would help, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be funny if I could actually mask it onto the screen behind me? Damn. Maybe it is on the green screen. Green screen. Did I say green screen? Right, start that again in case I said it wrong. Big screen is what I'm saying. I'll probably put it in the end screens too, but I'll probably put this in the bloopers, so, click here. More this became more. So yeah, Vin Diesel. That's echoey. Involvement, right. Start again. Falling over.